What do you know? We are back in Kansas. It's November the 3rd. We're back at the Hooray Ranch. We were here actually about 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's my first time ever in Kansas, and man, we had an amazing time. We saw a ton of deer, a lot of rut action, but we just never saw a buck that we could get in range to get a shot on. So we decided to go home for a little bit, have some Thanksgiving, and now we're back. This time though, I got my man, Dayton Williams, as I like to call him, behind the camera. I think this is his very first time in Kansas also, and so we got our fingers crossed. We got 3 days here, so we got a little bit of a window, but we just had a front to push through. Today it's continuing to push through, and then starting tomorrow it should get really good. So fingers crossed, but we're back in Kansas, locked and loaded, baby, at the Hooray Ranch. Well, it's our second afternoon here in Kansas 2.0. I said this morning that it was November the 3rd, I think, but I forgot the 0 because it is actually November 30th. I didn't get much sleep last night and I didn't have my coffee, but we are back in a spot that was honestly probably my favorite spot from the first trip out here. Actually, where we saw one of the really big deer out like 500 yards chasing does around, and he just never got in here close enough. But it's super windy again. There's a gust of like 40 miles an hour today, so Justin put us back in a redneck, which I was happy about, and we're back in a spot that I love. I mean, it's a great setup. There's just tons of CRP and a bunch of lanes cut, and all these deer kind of funnel back through us behind the there's some standing corn right here behind us. So we're gonna get in here and get quiet, or try to be quiet, and see how this afternoon goes. To the tree. It is December the 1st. We're here back in Kansas at the Hooray Ranch. We're in a spot that, my first trip here, there's a ground blind that's right across this field that we actually passed a really good buck. He come right in front of the blind. It was, I think, the first evening that we ever hunted, but we passed him and just never got another opportunity to any other bucks. But Justin's been checking cameras and says there's a 10-point that's in here that's been like clockwork the last 4 or 5 days. They're just now getting out of rut, so we feel like that, you know, food is a premium. We're over a green field here, so, and I'm, you know, fingers crossed, all the conditions are right. We did blow out a couple deer though walking in, but I think we'll be okay. So we're in here an extra hour or so early, and just gonna see what happens. But I got my man Dayton behind the camera. Maybe he'll bring us a little South Alabama luck here in Kansas. We're gonna get ready. Hey, we got a couple does coming right here. A couple does. Well, it's December the 2nd, and it is unfortunately our last sit here in Kansas. We've had a great hunt so far, seen a lot of deer. We just hadn't had the opportunities that we were looking for. We're back in a blind that we have set 2 mornings. This is the first evening that we've set though. We're hoping that third time is the charm. There's a couple bucks that's been coming in here right at last light. So we're hoping one of them old gym dandies here in Kansas will slip up and give us a shot. But fingers crossed. I've played my rally song. I put on my rally cap. What else have we done? I wore my favorite hoodie that I'm gonna put on. I mean, conditions are prime for a rally here in Kansas on the last day. Shot him back. I got shot him. Y'all, we literally in the last seconds of the hunt just shot a buck. I mean, I don't think we literally had 2 seconds left. The deer hung up at like 35. It was so dark inside the blind, I had to take my phone and turn the dial so I could see my yardage. But we looked at the shot. I think it's a little back. It was a complete pass through, but the deer should be fatally hit. We watched him walk off and just walk to his timber, so we're gonna jump out of here and get my arrow. I can see it right there and kind of assess from there. But man, you talk about freaking like last seconds. I mean, it's fourth quarter with 1 second left, and hopefully we just got it done. We're gonna get down and check this air out. Yes, sir.
Well, I woke up, it's sunny, and I'm off for work until Monday. No worries, no stress. It ain't hard to see all the reasons I'm blessed. I got a little gas in the tank, I got a little cash in the bank, I got a little gravel drive, a little house on a fenced-in fight. I got a little love from a girl who's the center of the corner of my little world. I got a little prayer I pray when I thank the Lord, 'cause man, I got a lot to be.
Well, everybody, it is December the 3rd now. We have to catch a flight in about 3 hours. But we shot a buck down here last night, and we shot him back. It was pretty dark. We watched the footage. We're almost positive the deer went right to this block of timber and laid down. So we're going to give it our best here. We don't have a lot of time to play with, but we're going to see if we can find him real quick and see what happens. Y'all, you talk about a crazy end to the story. We looked for the buck this morning, and where we thought he should have been laying, he wasn't. We found just tiny specks of blood of him going across the open field. So we were running out of time, leaving, headed back to camp to get packed up to go to the airport. We were riding by a pond, and Dayton literally says to me, "Man, what if we seen him floating in the pond?" And literally the second I turned over, he was floating in the pond. So he's right in the middle. I don't know how we're going to get to him, but pretty crazy. Man, literally, we're driving, and he said, "What if we see him floating in the pond?" And literally, there he is. How crazy is that? I wonder, I mean, we were looking to see if we could see where he went in, and maybe coyotes pushed him in there, and I mean, he went there to get away. I mean, I don't know. But I don't know how we're going to get to him. Well, y'all, we found my buck, but unfortunately he is in a pond and we can't get to him. We are literally late for our flights. We even thought about changing it and called him, and it's just going to be outrageous to change it. So Justin's going to go get him. We're going to get to the airport, but just awesome that we were able to find him. I just wish we could stay a little bit longer to recover him and put our hands on him.